Have you ever wondered, what's the biggest house in Britain? I know I have. Well, wonder no more, because the biggest house in Britain is this one, Wentworth. Nestled betwixt Rotherham, Doncaster and Sheffield. Aye, we're in Yorkshire, that knows. Fine country. 250,000 square feet of living space. Imagine the hoovering and around 300 rooms. I say around because nobody's quite sure how many rooms there are. But we've all been there, haven't we? I mean, think of that space under the stairs where you keep your car magazines. You know, your home office. Is that a room or isn't it? But it's not just about the house. It's about the well-appointed grounds attached to it. Just the spot for a lovely car show.
So Phil, how do you get a thing for buses? Where does it start? Is everybody that's involved with South Yorkshire Transport Museum, are you all ex-job, so to speak?
Majority yes, I would say. We have to have a passion for transport. We're not just buses, we are lorries.
Oh, not just buses. It's not just about buses. It's mainly about buses, but it's not just about buses.
We are not just buses. We have to make that perfectly clear to everybody, or else we get shot at the museum. So we've got lorries, cars, bikes, Lambrettas. We've got all sorts down there. I'm an ex-bus driver. My dad's an ex-bus driver, and they're both part of the museum. My mum runs a shop. A number of volunteers that have come down from a background of engineering, bus driving, lorry driving, drivers in general.
I'll bet money, Phil, that your dad used to go, when you were saying about what you were driving, he'd go, "Oh, it's not like in my day. We had to really drive them then. Oh, we had to double D clutch. None of your power steering, none of that rubbish." Was it all that?
You're asking yourself who's behind you. He's there. But yes.
Come in. Stand next to me. Right. So you are?
Colin Morton.
You're Colin?
Yeah.
And did you used to say that, what I've just said? When he was driving, did you go, "That's not like driving, what you're doing now. It virtually drives itself"?
That's right, yeah. Well, we used to, yeah. Drive itself. Oh, that they do, yeah. The drivers don't need to be there. Yeah, there's some buses in Doncaster a long time ago. They run on a road. They run on a carriageway on a road.
Oh yeah, they're on a rail. Yeah, we've got them. We've even got them in Manchester now. we had the first railway station in the world, but we've also got buses that run on rails. A lot of the people that come along to these shows, myself included, possibly even you, and Stephen the cameraman, I only work with people called Stephen, I find it confusing otherwise, have restored cars and motorbikes. And it can be a daunting task when you take the thing apart and it's all lying in its various constituent bits. How do you even start with a bus? Where do you start?
That's a very good question. Depends on what damage and what condition the bus is in the first place. We're recently restoring a bus called 1330, which is very similar to the Leyland behind us, but that's got panel damage, external. The wood framework inside is perfect, but the engine's also got a cracked block, and by that I mean it's leaking water and it's not underpowered, so putting new engine and gearbox into it as well.
So where are you? Tell us where the South Yorkshire Transport Museum is.
We're at Old Walk in Rotherham, just off the Rotherham Wash. So if you find Liberty Steel, we're not far away from there.
So do people, I would imagine all the time, people call you up and go, "Oh, we've got a bus for you," or "We've got a," and you think, well, we can't take every bus and lorry in Yorkshire. Yeah. So what criteria do you have for accepting donations, I would imagine? Because I bet some folk can't wait to get rid of something this size.
And that is the case. But we do look for more unique individual vehicles. For example, a lot of people don't know about the Booth and Fisher group. We've got a Booth and Fisher coach or single deck monocoach down at the museum. It's quite a rare vehicle, and it's the only one left, I believe, that's in the Booth and Fisher livery. So for us, we look at something more unusual, something a bit more different than just a standard double deck or a standard single deck.
So what sort of people come along to the museum? Is it mainly like school parties, or do you have lots of men of a certain age coming along and going, "Oh, I remember them"?
Surprisingly, it's a mixture of both. We have an education sector which gives us the museum accreditation, so it's part of that sector. But we also do have a lot of elderly gentlemen and ladies who conduct on nights, who drive that, and there's a lot of that experience. One thing we love about doing these shows is the stories that we get.
Yeah.
The old lady that used to jump on the back of the bus before the conductor actually managed to set the bus off, or even when it did set it off, she's trying to get on. It's just fantastic to hear the stories of people reminiscing about the olden days and what they actually did with these vehicles.
Oh, I could tell you some stories about things that I've done on buses, but I'm not going to.
That's really that part out as well.
Oh, Dave, what a car! What a car!
Lovely, isn't it? Do you like it? Would you like to buy it?
Well, no, I wouldn't like to buy it, but as you know, I would, because as you know, I'm very partial to a W126 Mercedes. They are just fantastic cars, and even today, amongst the best riding cars, regardless of the fact that this is what now, at least 35 years old. How old is it?
1990.
Yeah, so it's nearly 35 years old. Still one of the best riding cars and driving cars ever made.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they're just so easy and so comfortable and quiet. I couldn't believe it this morning when I started the engine. It's the first time I've driven it today, from home to here.
How did you come across this one? Didn't it belong to the King of Nigeria?
The original owner was the King of Nigeria.
Wow!
And when his chauffeur retired, they gave him the car.
It has some rather special features though, doesn't it?
I don't think there's an extra it hasn't got. It's got, as well as the normal heated electric seats, it's got electric heated reclining rear seats, rear blind, fire extinguisher, cruise control, aircon, ABS, ASR. Where do you stop?
So this must have been just about the most expensive production car in the world when it was made, wouldn't it?
I would have thought so, yeah. With the specifications it's got as well, yeah.
I've had my time with these cars, and one of the things that these won't do is pass a petrol station. The 560 at this size, what's it getting? It's got to be getting on for single 10, 12?
No, Kevin said he used to get 18 out of it.
18 to the gallon. The previous owner says he used to get 18 to the gallon out. Yeah. Well, it's a fantastic car, a fabulous investment. A lot of people would look at this and think, what do I want to go driving around in one of those for fun for? It's a great big lump of a thing, but get the kids and your significant other in the back on the old massaging, orthopaedic, heated, powered seats with the aircon going and the cruise control on. And you're just living like kings, aren't you? You're living like the King of Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. A lovely, lovely car they are.
Lovely.
Time for Bike of the Day. Now, just over there to my left is one of the greatest motorcycles ever made in the whole and entire history of motorcycling. The mighty, and I don't say that lightly, Vincent Black Shadow. But picking that would be predictable. So, I'm going to go with this instead. The Dunelt. The what, you say? Well, that's what I thought when I saw it. The Dunelt was built in Birmingham, the heart of the British motorcycle industry, by a Sheffield-based steelmaking company. It's a 500cc single cylinder that's part of one of the engines down there. Look at it, look at the pistons. The Dunelt. I don't think they made too many. Apparently, it wasn't very good. But they made their own engine though. and they made a fantastic advertising brochure for the sporting gentleman who may be considering what is quite a handsome motorcycle. They show it in all sorts of combinations, and they claim that it's the family man's motorcycle they've done out, even though in the picture it shows a so-called family man, pipe smoker of course, with a lass on the back and another filly in the sidecar. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that. But here today at Wentworth, quite fittingly, in Yorkshire, my bike of the day is kind of a Yorkshire motorcycle. Don't know, we're a Sheffield-based company. They made them in Birmingham. They're done out. You'll never see another one.
Well, we like cars and we like bikes, but we also love dogs. But what is our dog of the day? And all of a sudden it's 1970 again, when you could have bought this fabulous, outstandingly orange Ginetta G15, and what you probably would have done is purchase it in kit form. And that way you'd avoid the onerous tax that was levied on a complete car. Oh, and by the way, Ginetta assured prospective purchasers that you could put it all together in just a weekend. Now, I think that one's had a bit more work than you could manage in a couple of days, as it was restored from an absolute wreck by the lovely couple who I've just met, who own this fantastic car. Ladder chassis, fiberglass shell, and hanging out the back, the venerable Imp / Coventry Climax engine that has done so much good work in British cars down the years. 1970, this car is more than half a century old, and it's my car of the day here at Wentworth, the Ginetta G15. Yet another great turnout and a fantastic event. We'll see you all at the next one.